Yo, what up everyone, this is DJ ZEUS doing a remake of the Serato working with the Pioneer DJM-T1 mixer. Was yawning a lot in the other one. I didn't really know what I was talking about, whatever. But anyways, remake of that video. Pioneer DJM-T1 tractor scratch mixer, fully MIDI mappable to Serato. As you can see, right here we have the cue points, hot cues, sampler, and then the same thing with this side, sampler, hot cue, and you have 4 banks on each side. 4 for the hot cue, 4 for the sampler. We have a shift switch or button. Double tap it, shifts engage. Now you have a whole new set of buttons to use for whatever you want. And then the same thing within the sampler. Double shift, you have another 4. So basically you have 16 buttons to map to whatever it is that you want it to do. Just to give you a demonstration of how I have mine set up, the mapping. I have all my cue points, obviously. And let me go ahead and show you how I browse through a track. Right here I have the browse knob, and I have that set up to browse through my tracks. And if I push it, it switches over to my crates. You can set yours up however you want it, but to me that's what made sense, so that's how I did it. So let me go ahead and load a track. This one, okay. What we have is load and duplicate. Side A, side B, obviously A, B. So let me go ahead and load the track. Oh, it's already loaded. Load it to track B, side B. And right here, my cue point 1. Boom, it works. Cue point 1. And then let me go ahead and turn up the volume. Well, let me turn on my speaker first of all. Get back here. There we go. I'm gonna turn on the other one just because. Alright, so also before I get the song started, we have deck A and deck B, play, pause, and cue, FX1 and FX2. Since we have effects controllers on the sides, I'll get to that in a moment. I'm not using any effects. I use it as what it says underneath it, bend. So bend plus, and you can see it engage. Oh, hold on, let me. Whoop. Okay, internal mode. See, negative, plus, and that's those 2 buttons, negative and plus, negative and plus. Right here we have our play, so let me go ahead and play a track for you. It's playing, and stop it. And if I want to, I set up this cue button to eject my tracks. So there we go, it's ejected. Let me go ahead and load it again. Let me play it. And then the cue points right here. Try to get this in the shot. Okay, so there we have it. Let me switch over to the sampler, and I have my 4 samples.
You're in the mix with DJ ZEUS.
And then the same thing with this side. Let me go ahead and stop it. I'll play it for you. Let me go ahead and shift it into internal mode. And how I did that was underneath these, we see it says relative and absolute. Basically, I do have it set up for relative mode. So what I would do is press the shift button and press the play button / relative, and then as you can see, it goes from internal to relative, and my absolute mode, I set it up to switch over to internal and not absolute. So basically I'm running relative and internal mode. So here you have it, internal, relative, and let me go ahead and play a track for you. Same song on that side. My cue points work, and then sampler. Since there's only 4 buttons on this side and there's 6 samples, what I did was I just added the other 2 to this side. You can set yours up however you want it. You could even use these bottom buttons as a 5th cue point or as a 5th sampler. But let me go ahead and play that sample for you. Let me.
Hey, this next record is what our party is all about.
Okay, so there we got the sampler, we got the cue points. And excuse me if I'm trying to rush through this, it's just that my last video was a little lengthy and kind of boring because I kept yawning and I was doing it when I was tired. So that's why I'm making this second video to replace the first one. But basically that's what I have it down to doing. Let me go ahead and start it over, and then like once again, like I said, I have the pitch bend. And what I set up this button to do is, if you have any of the curse words, that little delete button or whatever it's called, I really don't know what they call it, but so that's what I have that set up for. Now let me go ahead and move over to the effects and all that stuff. Oh, you know what? I forgot to show you also what I have done. In shift mode, you could either double tap to engage shift for any of these buttons, so you can basically map these buttons twice to whatever it is that once for one thing, and then shift mode you can map them again to something else, and that's on everything. So basically what I have in shift mode for these are to engage my loops. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, back to 1, click it again. Alright, so that's what I have that set up for. If you want to engage it quickly without having to double tap the shift button, all you have to do is just hold it down and press the button, and that's a temporary shift, just like using your keyboard. You know, you press shift and you enter whatever button. So that's what that's for. Also what I did was I set up to create cue points. I didn't really know what to do with these little turn wheels thingies. So what I did was I set it up, if I push down on it, it'll create a cue point. So I can create a cue point. So that's what I used for this one and for this one on this side also. Once again, you can map it to however you want it, however you want to map it. Basically, you have full custom. You can customize this mixer to your likings. You don't have to go based off of the cue points and the samplers. You can map these ones to be your cue points and your samplers, or even these ones up here. Whatever you want to do, but I just did it the easiest way because it's already labeled there for you. Even though that these labels are for Tractor Scratch, they work the same way as Serato basically. Let me get on to the next area. I've set up the group on, single, whatever, the dry and wet knob, and the effects bank 1, effects bank 2, the very top button to engage my SP6 sampler. So if I need to adjust the volumes or whatever, I can do so, and if I want to click out of it, I just push that button And on this one right here, on the other side, I used it to engage my effects. And as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 effects. 1, 2, 3 effects, and the knobs down here are controlling in there. And basically the dry and wet button, knob, I used it to control how many beats. So you do it that way. And once again, you can map this to however you want, but that's the way I have it set up. And then we have on buttons 1, 2, and 3 for the 3 effects. So if you want to engage, 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 off, 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 you can do that. Let me go ahead and click out of there, and then let me bring up my Video SL. I don't have the full version. I just got this mixer because I want to get into video mixing, and I have the demo version of Video SL. I don't even have any music videos at the moment, but that's my goal, and my plan is to go ahead and get that started and get the actual full extension to Video SL hopefully by the end of this month. But if you already know how to MIDI map, or if you don't know how to MIDI map, there are videos on YouTube that show you how you can MIDI map. Basically, all you have to do is you go to this MIDI button up here, and what you do is, see how all these little buttons have little highlights around them, and basically, like for instance, whoops, this one's unassigned. All you have to do is click on it. It turns whatever color that is, orange or something like that, and then you press the button or the knob that you want to assign it to. So once you're able to do that, here, let me just go ahead and assign one for the hell of it. It turns like that. Now it's assigned. So basically I can click out of this screen, MIDI, and when I press the button that I assigned it to, I can now scroll through the different areas of my loops. And now to map the crossfaders for Video SL, it took me quite a while to figure out how to do this. But okay, first you got to click out of the MIDI screen, and there weren't any videos showing me how to do this, and this is my very first MIDI mixer, so it took me a while to figure this out. But basically you have to have this selected and that selected. Then you go in here to MIDI, you click on the fader, and then you move the fader that you want to assign it to, and voila, it works. And then the same thing with the crossfader. See, it's working, it's working. Faders are working, as you can see, and that's how you assign the faders to the MIDI controller for your Video SL. And that took me a couple of hours to figure out, and it was a pain in the ass for the most part. And if you want to disengage those and you're not using Video SL, you just unselect those two buttons, and see, I'm moving the crossfader, but it's not moving in Serato. That's just to control the audio. So that's how you do that. And that to me was the most important part of getting this mixer, because I heard people saying that this mixer was capable with Serato and that you could use Video SL, and here's your proof right there. I mean, I just showed it to you. There's your proof. You can use it with Video SL. I wish I had some music videos so I can demonstrate it, but unfortunately at the moment I don't. And like I said, this is only the demo version of Video SL. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. That's the whole mixer. There's other videos showing you all the other features, the front panel. You know, you got the 1/4" XLR combo, microphone input. You got 2 RCA left and right channel, obviously. input with the level gain, and then we have the low and high trim equalizer for this channel. So this could basically be a third channel. Crossfader curve is the same three selections that all Pioneer mixers have, which is through, fade, and sharp cut, I guess. It does have a crossfader hamster switch. As you can see, it lights up. So if you're the hamster scratching type of person, you can go ahead and do it that way. And we also have a lag feature in here that you can customize to your liking. And basically, you hold down the utility button. Once it's blinking, this little light's blinking. As you can see, I have no lights right here, which means that it is fully all the way this way. So let me see if I can get a close-up of this. Once I move the mixer, the fader over this much. Sorry if I'm shaking. I'm using my BlackBerry Playbook tablet. Just if I move it over that much, it's already full. No, full volume, whatever. Right there. So you could adjust the lag on it by using this button. So once again, you hold down utility. Let me click out of it. Hold it down. Boom. Lights blinking. Use this little scroll thing. If there's no lights right here, that means that you are at the maximum, the shortest cut you could possibly have with this mixer. If you want it to be lagging a little bit more, you can move it up. Once you get all the way to the top, that's level 1, I guess. And you move up, level 2, level 3, all the way up until your crossfader lag can be out to there. Even on the sharp selection on the crossfader curve. But if you don't like it like that, just go all the way down. All the lights are off, and then click out of utility. You've just adjusted the crossfader lag. And I think that's it as far as the features on this mixer go. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. We'll be hoping to make a demo video using this mixer and Serato, and that should be coming soon, hopefully on my next day off. So hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, any questions, whatever, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.